Hello everybody, this is DeanoGTO and this is going to be my first video in about a week and a half because I was busy doing other stuff, as I mentioned in the Pershing review before I stopped making videos for a while. Now, this is going to be my first video back and I figured, why not post a tier 9. The T-54 is one of the most popular machines in the game and it's for a good reason. T-54 overall is probably one of the strongest machines in the game. Like, the only weaknesses it has, like you could honestly stick this thing at tier 10, give it nothing but an APCR standard round, and it would be fine. I honestly believe that there. That's how good this thing is. Its gun handling and its aiming time. It's just overall this thing is just insane how good it is. Now, although saying that there, I still think that the T-62 is probably and yeah, that's I had one of the turret glitches happen at that moment, and yeah, I immediately rammed the 1375, and I'm going to continue pushing him so he can't get his tracks back up, and yeah, he's screwed. And there's an Emil one. Yeah, this guy could easily kill me. I actually didn't realize he was coming at me initially. Yeah, but he has killed all his momentum, which means he can no longer get around me because it's an Emil one, and he has no part of weight ratio at all. Yeah. And he has used all of his shots. I think he may have one left. Yep, and he wasted it. So yeah, he's screwed. Funny thing is, I think his tank's about as heavy as mine, but he can do nothing. He can do absolutely nothing, and he has no armor whatsoever to speak of. So yeah, that was easy. So that's a tier 7 light tank and a tier 8 heavy tank, both dead already. Now there's the Luva around the corner. Now the Luva these days is actually annoying to deal with in a T-54. It's just from the front, though, and oh yeah. That right there is why I hated the M103. You see what just happened to him there? Artillery hit him in the side of the turret and took off about 1,000 health. Yeah, hated that tank. Good reason for it. Not one of those tanks I hated for no apparent reason. There's a really good reason for it. And yeah, I'm trying to aim for the area. And yeah, that was just really bad RNG. And then there was the ISU, and I'm kind of committing to the aiming time, and unfortunately I hit his track, which is really annoying because it would have been really nice to have him dead already, because that's a 152mm gun out of the game. And yeah, the M13 is now dead, just the Type 4 Heavy, and the ISU, and the Super Pershing, and what was the other one? I think an IS-3, something like that? Yeah, IS-3. But yeah, this game's going pretty well so far. I'm on 1 kill. Moving around like an absolute mad bastard. Like, yeah, this game has been going really, really well so far. It's just using the mobility and the firepower of this thing just to full effect. And that's one of the main things about this vehicle. People always complain about the pen, how you need to fire a lot of premium rounds. Not true. You only need to fire a lot of premium rounds if you're not using the mobility advantage that this thing has. The mobility of this thing allows it to get away with not having to use its premium rounds. You can outflank things. You can use your armor to bounce shots. There are so many things you can do with this thing that you just can't with other mediums because it's got armor, it's got firepower, and rate of fire, and it's just overall just a really, really, really good tank. See, like I even have the confidence to go in like head to head with like what was that, like 4 different tanks. And yeah, I'm just gonna finish off this T-25/2. Yeah, it's becoming a bit of a just wreck. Like the enemy team's just been wrecked at this point. Like they can really do nothing at this point. And yeah, 5 kills right now. M53, M55. At this point, I'm thinking there's no chance of me actually getting there in time in order to get it. And yeah, I typed FF instead of GG by accident. But yeah. I get up here and yeah, I just about got it. I think the Panzer 58 Munch was going for a ram, but I kind of robbed that from him. But yeah, that was a really, really quick game. Just kind of showing the raw power of the T-54. Because T-54, no matter what the matchmaking, you need to respect this thing. This thing here is not a tank you can ignore and live to and not live to regret it. Like, because these things here, they're so dominant. Like, you can, if you come across a good player in a T-54, it will annihilate any tank in the game. The only exception for that there was the T-125, but even that there, since they nerfed that bullshit area behind the front drive wheel, even since ever since I've done that there, I'd say this thing can even take on an E5 head to head and win. But yeah, I think the rule of thumb for Russians even applies with this thing here. The only way to beat a lower tier Russian vehicle is with a higher tier Russian vehicle. So yeah, only the T-62 and the 140 really have a chance versus this thing here. This thing is such a good tank. It's so fucking good, and the gun handling is just like it's such a solid machine. Like it's unbelievable how good of an all rounder this thing is. And it has never been nerfed as far as I'm aware, except in HD where it's hurt a bit weaker, I think. But yeah, overall, one of the best tanks in the game, tier for tier. So yeah, on to the post-game stats. Okay, so we are back with the stats. So you can see this was worth an ace, tap gun, well, because I got 6 kills, it was relatively easy to get, and a steel wall, which is kind of something you get pretty often in the T-54, if I'm totally honest. If you do it properly and you know like how to position your tank in order to like get the maximum out of your armor, you can actually do really well, like in terms of blocking damage and just overall just reducing the amount of damage you overall take. Because you can't do shit like that in the Leopard PTA, as an example. Leopard PTA, you can't do that. Centurion 7-1 is iffy, it's kind of you can, kind of you can't. E50 is probably the closest to the T-54 in terms of being able to use its armor, but T-54 is pretty much in its own league. Like the E50 is good, but it has shit turret. The T-54 has a good hull and a good turret. So yeah, in terms of overall armor, a tier 9 on a medium tank, it's the best. I can't think of one that comes close. So, and actually thinking about it, it pairs that armor with massive speed. So the only real downside to this vehicle is the gun penetration. So yeah, it's such a good machine. It's an unbelievably well-rounded machine. The only thing it doesn't have is gun depression and gun penetration. That's it. And given how quick that game was, this kind of game here is the reason why things like the mouse and the mouse chin and the VK100 that are 1P, this is the reason why those kind of machines are kind of hard to use these days. Because if you get a game that's 4 minutes and 28 seconds long, like this one, you would not have time to do any damage at all in something like a mouse gen or a VK100 or a mouse. You would not have had time to do any damage at all, pretty much. But that's where things like the T-54 come into their own, because you're always going to be able to do some damage in a T-54, because you just have the speed in order to get to positions you wouldn't be able to get to in other tanks. So, yeah. And that's also something I forgot to mention. Power to weight ratio on this thing, amazing. Not just top speed, it also has an amazing acceleration, so yeah. Such a good machine. And yeah. So, I think that's about all I have to say, so thanks for watching, I will see you in the next one.